What do you think? Does she speed once in a while? Like sometimes? Does she speed?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But she speed right now.
What?
She speed right now to here.
All right.
Sometimes courtrooms feel cold and strict, but not when Judge Caprio is on the bench. Known for his humor and big heart, he often surprised everyone by putting compassion before rules. Here are the unforgettable times Judge Caprio broke character and showed his human side. One of the most unforgettable times in Judge Caprio's courtroom was when a 96-year-old father came in. He wasn't there for himself. He was there because his 3-year-old son had cancer. Just saying that is enough to break your heart.
Charged with a school zone violation, which means that you were exceeding the speed limit in a school zone.
I don't drive that fast, Judge. I'm 96 years old and I drive slowly, and I only drive when I have to.
The father explained that he was driving his little boy to the hospital for treatment when he got a ticket. Most people might expect the judge to simply read the rules, give a fine, and move on. But Judge Caprio is not like most judges. He listened with so much care. You could see on his face that this story touched him deeply.
I was going to the blood work for my boy. He's handicapped.
You were taking your son to the doctor's office?
Yeah, I take him for blood work every 2 weeks.
Instead of being strict, he leaned forward, softened his voice, and spoke like a friend. He asked about the boy, how he was doing, and how the father was holding up. In that moment, the courtroom didn't feel like a courtroom at all. It felt like a place of kindness and understanding.
Well, he's got cancer.
You are a good man. You are a good man. You really are what America is all about. Here you are in your 90s, and you're still taking care of your family.
Judge Caprio forgave the ticket, but more than that, he showed compassion that went far beyond the law. This was not just about rules, it was about humanity. Moments like these are why so many people admire him around the world.
I wish you all the best. I wish the best for your son, and I wish you good health, and your case is dismissed. Good luck to you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
One day in Judge Caprio's courtroom, a young woman named Irons Keskin stood before him with a red light violation. At first, it seemed like an ordinary case, but soon it turned into something special.
You work in the city?
No.
No.
We were just there for celebrate that I got like full A's on my finals and for my friend's birthday. We were just there to like hang out.
Where do you go to school?
Roger Williams.
When Judge Caprio asked why she was in the city, Irons explained she had been out celebrating. She had just earned straight A's on her finals in tough subjects like calculus, physics, and biology. She was also tutoring other students while handling a heavy 20-credit semester. Judge Caprio's eyes lit up. He joked that she had chosen the easy road in college, even though he admitted those were the subjects he struggled with most.
How many hours a night do you study?
Last semester I took 20 credits, but other than that I was on I'm a commuter, but I'm on campus like from 8 a.m. till like midnight, 1 a.m.
You go to the library and study?
Yeah.
As they replayed the traffic video, she explained how she thought it would be unsafe to stop too suddenly with her friends in the car. Judge Caprio teased her about not applying math and physics to her driving, making everyone laugh.
I thought you made a right-hand turn, because most people do. You went straight.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Okay, you
one.
went straight, okay.
Yeah.
Lisa, run it again. I want to see how much traffic there is. I want to see, there's a traffic jam. Okay, let's look. With the exception of one car coming way down.
In the end, he praised her dedication, telling her the country was proud of students like her. Instead of focusing only on the ticket, he rewarded her hard work and dismissed the violation. She left the courtroom smiling, carrying not just relief, but encouragement to keep going.
The fact that you're a student, I'm proud of you, and the country is proud of everyone like you who is dedicating themselves to studying. You know, and the fact that you got all these A's, I'm going to reward you for that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And I'm taking into consideration that it was 2 o'clock in the morning.
In Judge Caprio's courtroom, a man who was new to driving in the United States appeared with his family. He had received a speeding ticket for going 35 miles per hour in a 25-mile zone. When Judge Caprio asked him about it, the man explained that he simply hadn't noticed the speed limit sign. It was an honest mistake, not reckless driving.
In Africa before the US, so I just get my US license like 6 months ago.
Oh, you celebrated by speeding?
No, I didn't see no speed sign.
Judge Caprio quickly lightened the mood. He turned to the man's young child who was sitting in court with them and invited the little one to, quote, rule on the case. The child giggled, proudly announcing the driver was, quote, guilty, filling the room with laughter. Everyone, even the father, smiled at the playful moment.
You're going to say guilty or not guilty? What do you say?
Guilty.
Guilty. An honest boy. Shake hands. Good one. Okay, you can go back.
But beneath the humor, Judge Caprio showed his trademark compassion. He reminded the man that as a new driver, learning the rules of the road is important, especially for safety. Still, he recognized that this wasn't a dangerous situation. The road was quiet, no one was hurt, and the driver was clearly not careless.
I want to give you credit for your good driving record back in Africa.
Thank you.
Okay, just be careful down there. And you have a very honest young man as well. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, goodbye.
In the end, Judge Caprio dismissed the case with leniency. He gave the driver not just relief from a fine, but also a warm reminder that justice can carry both fairness and kindness. One of the sweetest moments in Judge Caprio's courtroom came when a mother appeared with her 6-year-old daughter. The mom was facing a parking ticket, and instead of keeping it serious, Judge Caprio turned the hearing into something fun and heartwarming.
Now, she hasn't paid the ticket, so we have penalties in addition to the $100. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask her to give us an explanation.
He leaned over and asked the little girl if she wanted to help him decide the case. Her eyes lit up as she nodded yes. With the whole courtroom smiling, Judge Caprio gave her 3 choices: dismiss the ticket, cut the fine to $30, or make her mom pay the full $50. The girl thought carefully, then decided on the $50 fine. The room burst out in laughter at her honest, straightforward ruling.
What would you do to be fair about this whole thing? How much would you charge her?
I'm gonna charge her number 3.
How much? Did you say number 3?
Yeah.
How much is that?
Wait, what's the number again? What's the number again? Let's go charge him 50.
So you want to charge her $50?
Judge Caprio, however, wasn't about to let the story end there. He praised the little girl for being fair, but then added his own twist. He said he would dismiss the ticket completely on one special condition. Her mom had to take her out for a nice breakfast.
So I'll charge her $0 if she buys you breakfast, if you say it's okay. But if you say it's not okay, then she's going to pay the $50. What do you think?
Breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay. Well, thank you so much. You did a great job.
The young girl grinned from ear to ear, and the courtroom filled with warmth. It was a perfect example of Judge Caprio's ability to mix justice with kindness, leaving everyone smiling as they left. In Judge Caprio's courtroom, a woman appeared for a red light violation, but right away she pointed the finger at her husband. It wasn't her driving that day, she explained. It was him behind the wheel of her car. The courtroom chuckled as she made it clear she wasn't taking the blame.
This is my wonderful husband.
Oh.
I got the ticket. He was driving my car. I'm not guilty.
Oh.
He is.
Judge Caprio, always curious and fair, played back the traffic camera footage. It showed the car crossing the intersection just 0.3 seconds after the light turned red. Technically, it was a violation, but in reality, it was such a tiny margin that most people wouldn't have even noticed.
I understand that. I said, you came here today to tell me he's guilty. So the first thing you did was throw him under the bus.
I'm not throwing myself under. You know?
So you think he's really guilty?
Caprio couldn't resist having a little fun. He joked about the couple's marriage defense, the wife blaming the husband and the husband sitting quietly beside her. With a smile, he told them that in marriage sometimes it's best to share the blame, even when the red light camera says otherwise.
What do you say? Hey, you 3/10, pay the fine. What do you do?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Because it's your
And
husband?
he has to take me to dinner.
Oh.
That's the deal.
In the end, Judge Caprio dismissed the ticket. He explained that 0.3 seconds wasn't enough to treat it as a serious offense. Instead of handing down a fine, he gave them the benefit of the doubt and left the courtroom laughing about love, marriage, and second chances.
3/10 of a second is so small, right, that I usually give the benefit of the doubt. Right. Particularly when they come in with some high-powered defense like you.
You don't have to take me to dinner.
No, I'm not going to take you to dinner.
Okay.
I've been happily married for 5 years.
Judge Caprio's courtroom was never just about laws and fines. It was about people, kindness, and heart. From laughter to tears, he reminded us that justice can be human, too.